Hey everybody, I know it's been a while since I made a video about my experiences with cochlear implants, but I've had a few experiences in the last few months that I think should be on video. But today, we're going to talk about my experience with an MRI that I had done in November. MRIs and cochlear implants. That's the topic for today's video. Okay, so some background. I have been wearing cochlear implants since 2013. Now, around spring of 2019, I started to experience issues with my right hip, um, which I think is due to my 30 years in the martial arts, too much kicking, too much wear and tear. I started to limp quite a bit. My doctor referred me out for an initial set of x-rays, which showed moderate arthritis. I went through a couple of rounds of physical therapy, which really didn't help at all. Fast forward to summer of 2022, when my hip was getting worse, and my doctor referred me out for another set of x-rays. This time it showed severe arthritis. Now, all along, I have been on prescription anti-inflammatories, which was quite helpful, but it was only a short-term solution for each day. So when my doctor saw the x-ray report, the next thing my doctor decided to do was to refer me out for an MRI. Now, let me just say at this point, my doctor didn't know anything about issues between cochlear implants and MRIs. As many of you know, cochlear implants consist in part of magnetic components, and MRI stands for magnetic resonance imaging. The two don't go well. From what I understand, in the old days, if you needed an MRI, you needed to have surgery to take the processors out. That's not the case for today. Now, at this point in time, I want to say that nothing in this video should be construed as medical advice or otherwise. Please consult with your doctor, your audiologist, or your radiologist before you go through an MRI for any medical condition. I'm just relating my experiences with the MRI that I went through. Okay. All right. Having said that, I emailed my audiologist about this to double check on the compatibility between cochlear implants and MRIs. My audiologist responded and said that my cochlear implants are MRI conditional, which means it is safe for me to go through an MRI, which made me feel very relieved at that. Okay, so she indicated that I would have to go through a head wrapping procedure where my head would be wrapped, and hence the feature image of this video. My audiologist told me that I can go to any MRI clinic in the area, but my cochlear implant program is at the Sunnybrook Hospital in Toronto, and it's one of the best hospitals in Ontario, and they have an X-ray MRI department. She told me it was not necessary for me to have the MRI done at Sunnybrook, but I decided to push for Sunnybrook on the assumption that they were experienced at doing MRIs for cochlear implant patients. Of course, the downside was the potentially long wait list, but I decided to go for the MRI at Sunnybrook instead of taking a chance with less experienced folks in the area. Anyway, I had to wait for 4 months before the MRI came through. On the day of the MRI, I filled off some forms and had a short talk with the technician before the MRI. The first question out of my mouth was, do you have experience doing MRI scans of cochlear implant patients? And I was quite relieved to hear them say, we've done many of them. We have come across many cochlear implant patients, and we know what to do here. And knowing that they were experienced at this made me feel very comfortable. Okay, so I had to get my hip wrapped. So I went upstairs to the Sunnybrook cochlear implant offices where I had my hip wrapped. Now it's a procedure to keep the internal processors in place just in case anything happens. And they wrap it very tightly. And, I felt like a mummy at times. I went through the MRI, which took about 25 to 30 minutes. Of course, you have to be absolutely still. It got rather warm inside the MRI machine, but I felt nothing out of the ordinary. Okay? It was just a normal scan of my right hip. And then afterwards, I had the hip wrap taken off, and I went home. Now, I had the surgery, hip replacement surgery, in January. To be honest with you, I was more nervous about the MRI scan than I was about the hip replacement surgery. And by the way, the recovery is going quite well right now. I'm not 100%, about 90%, but the MRI scan, made me a little nervous. And I can tell you up front, it's nothing to worry about. If you take the steps to contact your audiologist and make sure that your cochlear implants are MRI conditional, and that precautions are taken before the scan. Ask about hand wrapping procedures, okay? And if you follow all the precautions, keep in touch with the audiologist and look for an MRI clinic that is experienced in doing scans of patients with cochlear implants, you'll be fine. Now, I'm sure some of you are wondering about the external processors. Yes, you take them off with the MRI scan. All right, so it all went well. I was a little nervous. Turns out I really didn't have much to be nervous about. I just wanted to take the precautions, get in touch with the audiologist, like I said, and double check to make sure your cochlear implants are MRI conditional. Do you have any questions? Please put them in the comment box below, and if you haven't done so, please subscribe, okay? It's my intention to make more videos, and keep an eye out for them, and we'll see you next time.